I'm going to share my screen, and you need to work on the assignment like which I started before. Yeah, design a Java applications with a hierarchical inheritance. So we'll have a class called student. There are two. This is a super class. And two subclasses. So class computer subject is one subclass. Class math subject another subclass. What you need to do is you need to figure out the marks of subject grade results. That means the moment I will execute the code, it should get an output that okay. Subject computers option. So if my option is 1, it will ask me the choice. If my option is 1, then it should display what math subject marks, okay, grade with the results. If my option is 2, then it should get I should get the details of the maths. First one will be the computers, second one will be the math. So I'm going to send in you in the chat, or else I will be on my screen. You can just see, and I can give you time and just finish and text the code in the chat. Okay. Maybe you can do that assignment later. I will text you in the chat, and you can show me tomorrow. Copy and send you in the chat. Let's try to understand about this keyword. This is a Java keyword we use to represent the current class object. So there can be a lot of use of this keyword. It is used basically for reference purpose. Like we have used this keyword inside the method, if you remember when you're talking about the constructor, right? So not only we can use inside the constructor or inside the methods to refer the current class object or current class properties. There are many other ways also we can use this keyword. There are 6 ways we can use. So this can be used to refer the current class instance variables. We have done that already. This can be used to invoke the current class method also implicitly. And this of can be used to invoke the current class constructor. Uh, we can invoke one constructor within another constructor by using this of. This also can be passed as argument in the method call when you're passing the parameter. So you can use this keyword to invoke the current class variables, and this also can be passed as argument in the constructor call both. And this also can be used to return at the current class in instance from the methods. So let's try to understand the use of how we can use this keyword to refer the current class instance variables, which I have seen already practically before also. This keyword can be used for if refer the current class instance variable if there is ambiguity between the instance variables and parameter, right? So parameter is what? My local variables, and how I can pass the same parameter to my instance variable by using the this keyword. So if this is my student applications, okay, and I have a constructor, now you can see I have not using any this keyword. So what exactly the problem that I will face without using this keyword, okay? So and the solution of the above problem is what? By using this keyword. So if I will not use this keyword here, then nothing is going to initialize the data from my parameter of constructor to my instance variables, right? And if you want, we can try the same thing later, okay? And that problem is resolved by using the this keyword, which you have used before also. This to invoke the current class method also. So you may invoke the method of the current class by using this method. If you don't use this keyword, compiler automatically add this keyword while invoking the method. So let's see an example how we can use this keyword to invoke the methods. Let's say I have a class A. A simple example I'm taking to making you understanding used to call this keyword to invoke the current class method. Okay, class A, and I have a M method. Simply it's going to print, hey, I'm a M, hello M, and I have another method called N. Now what exactly I want to do is I just want to invoke M inside the N, and that is only possible within one class only, because this keyword is basically used to represent only your single object, I mean your current class object. We cannot use this keyword in the your super class or subclass some things, right? We can use only with the current class properties. So whenever I will call N method, okay, then I want to execute the M method also, and M method is also represent to the same class. Okay, so when I will say N, it will print hello N, and then it will print M. Okay, in place of you can call M also. Okay, so this dot M in place of you can say M of also. Next, this of to invoke the current class constructor. One constructor can be invoked another constructor by using this of. Let me show you another example. Class A, I have a default constructor which is going to print hello A, and I have another constructor which is called parameterized constructor. I have a two constructor, default constructor and as well as parameter constructor, right? And here I'm going to say this of. That means what? What exactly I'm going to do here? Whenever I will invoke this parameterized constructor, it has to invoke my default constructor, right? So you can see here, when I'm going to say inside the main method, see, I have created the object and initialize the value by using the parameter constructor. The moment I will be in the moment I will be creating and initialize the value, the object, the parameterized constructor will invoke, okay, and then before it print the x value, it has to call my default constructor, and it is going to print this hello world. That means before it print the 10 values, it has to print hello a. Call to this of must be the first statement in the constructor. Yes. This keyword also can be used to return the current class instance. Yes, that's interesting. We can use this keyword also to return your current class object, your current class instance. We can return this keyword as an argument from the method. In such cases, return type of the method must be the class type, not any void or any parameter types. So you can see here, if I have a class called let's say student class, then what I will write, public student, so student or some method name, and I can use return this. Okay, and this will be return the current class object. So here we can see an example. Here, see, my class name is what? Example2. What is the return type of this method? My method name is xyz. Okay, and the return type of the method is what? Example2. And what I'm doing here, this. That means when I'm creating an object, it is going to return that class instance. And we have another example in more elaboration. See here, for this method, the xyz method, whatever we discussed, so that I'm going to call in example xyz1. So it's going to print the instance of the my class, that is example2 class. Next is the super keyword. Super keyword we use in the while you are working with the two classes, super class and subclasses. This keyword represent your current class methods, current class instance, current class constructor, current class variables, right? So this keyword is basically to refer your current class object. But super keyword is used to refer your super class object from the subclass block. From the subclass block, we can refer to your superclass object. Okay, the super keyword in Java is basically a reference variables which is used to refer immediate parent class object, which is used to refer your immediate parent class object. Whenever you create the instance of the subclass, an instance of the parent class is created implicitly, which is referred by the reference, which is referred by super reference variables. And super keyword can be used in a three different perspective. Super can be used to refer immediate parent class instance variables. Super can be used to invoke the parent class methods, and super of can be used to invoke the immediate parent class constructor also. There are three different angles you can use super keyword, okay, to call the super class method. So I'm giving you some example here. Let's say I have a two class here, class A and class B, right? And I have a variables called color in the class A, right? So here I have another color in the B class. Okay, so I'm going to say it's a black. So my super class value is a white and the subclass is a black here. So first I want to print through this method, print color method. It will print the instance variables, that means the current class. And the same way I want to print the super class color also. How can I represent my super class variables? Because both are having the same variables, right? So I can represent my super class variables by using super keyword, super.color. That means it will call the super class variables. So what we have seen here, the super is used to refer the immediate parent class instance variables. Now we'll see how the same super keyword can be used to invoke the parent class methods. Okay, now I have a same like two classes, class A and class B, and I have a method called M1 method, which is going to say I'm a super class M1 method. I'm in a super class and M1 method. Now B extends A, and I have a here M1 methods. Okay, and again I have a so it is going to print I am a subclass method M1, and it is going to say I am a subclass method M2. Okay, now what I'm going to do is here I'm just going to expose. I just want to expose the my superclass methods. Okay, so here I can use super dot m1. Okay, inside my subclass method, I can call super keyword to expose the superclass method. So whenever you are going to use the super keyword, you must need to use inside your subclass method. Again, I'm going to repeat. Whenever you are going to use super keyword in your subclass to immediate invoking the superclass methods or superclass variables, you must need to use inside your subclass method. Okay, so let's try to understand how you can use the same super keyword while working with the constructor. Super also can be used to invoke the parent class constructor. Yes, that's interesting, right? So here, this is what my default constructor. And as you can see, I'm just simply writing a super off. That means what? The moment I will create an object for B class, first immediate, it will invoke my super class constructor. It is going to print immediate super class constructor. Okay. After that, it is going to call the your subclass constructor. First, it execute the superclass constructor, then it's execute the subclass constructor. If you say, if I have some parameter here, if I have some parameter in the superclass, then what should I do? Obviously, you have to write a, you need to pass the parameter here. Next one, we'll discuss the final keyword. Final keyword is basically used in Java program that we use to restrict the user. The Java final keywords can be used in many contexts. The final keyword can be used to declare a final variables. The final keyword we can use to declare a final method, and the same final keyword you can use to declare a final class. So final is something, it works like a constant. Means if I declare a final variables, I cannot change the value again and again. Okay, if I will declare any variables as a final, I cannot change the value again and again. Okay, I should initialize only once, and that is a fixed. Final method is something when you declare any method as a final, then you cannot you cannot override that method. Means you should have only one time method implementation. You should have only one time method implementation. Only one time only you can use that method. You cannot reuse it again. That means you cannot change the method behavior again in your subclasses. So let me show you one best example here. uh, let's say I can write here in the student class, the same class I'm using. I will say um, final float total. Okay, so here you can see the blank final field total may not have been initialized. Means you cannot make it as empty, the first important, and you have to initialize the value here. You have to initialize the value here. So what should I do here? I will use this total whenever I'm assigning the marks. So I will say here final total, final float. Yes. Okay, and I'm trying to do some changes here. I will say total equals to something called 650. I'm trying to change its different values. Already I'm going to use the total, okay, which is going to adding the marks 1, mark 2, mark 3, and the same total that I'm going to change to assign some new values. I'm getting a compilation error here. The final local variables total cannot be assigned. It must be blank, not using any compound assignment. We cannot assign any new values because as it is a final variables. If I will just remove that final variables, I don't have any problems. Let's see. Anything that I can write, I don't have any issues here. So I hope you got the clear picture about the final variables. Now I will show you the final method. So I have a final method here. Let's do this here. Yeah. Now I'm going to write a method, something called here. I have a method which is a final method, public final float. This is the average marks. Okay. And no one can change this average marks here. No one can change this average marks here. Now, what I'm trying to do is, again, I'm trying to use the same method in the principal class. I wanted to use the same method in the principal class. Let's see what will happen. Yeah, I'm getting a error. Cannot override the final method from the teacher classes here. If I'll remove this final, then I don't have any problem. I can override these methods. Sorry. I can override this. I don't have any problem. But when the method is in the final, then I cannot override, means I cannot provide again new implementation part here. Okay. So practically it's proof that final method can have only one-time implementation. Final method can have only one-time implementations. Final variables, we cannot change it again and again. And let's try to understand about the final class. So if I'll make any class as a final, let's say, final class student. You can see I'm getting a compilation error. The type of teacher cannot be subclass the final class student. That means it's not going to allow to extend any subclasses. If it is a final class, none of the subclasses can use that classes. If I remove the final class, I don't have any issues here. Okay, so practically you have discussed the use of final variables, final method, and final class. The same thing that you will find out here. Some other examples. If you make any variables as final, you cannot change the value of the final variables. It will work as a constant term. If you make any method as final, you cannot override it. If you make any class as a final, you cannot extend it. Next, we will talk about the polymorphism. So before that, before you go to the polymorphism, the next topics, let's try to finish this assignment which I have given here. Let's try to finish this assignment. Try to complete this assignment. And I have given another assignment also in the class plus. Okay, wherever you are accessing the video, right there, I have given another assignment also. Try to read that and complete that assignment as well. Okay, and any other questions?
Yes, Mr. Kumar.
Tell me.
Yes, this is my first experience with Java. So I'm trying to catch up, and I'm not sure, but it feels like sometimes I'm not catching up. So if we can slow down a little bit, that would help.
Anytime, I already told you, if you are not able to catch, if you have some problems, just ask me and stop to go slow. And you can ask me to stop and repeat it the same thing. I don't have any problems.
Okay.
Anytime that you feel that you didn't understand, or you want me to revise something, or you want me to give you some kind of example stuff, then you just stop me and clear your doubts. Any other questions from anyone? Tomorrow we'll discuss about polymorphism and as well as encapsulations. Okay. And mostly we do with the OOPS concept tomorrow. And once you will done with OOPS concept, next topics you will move to exception handling from next Monday. The only thing what you have to do is you have to do some practice. You have to go through the materials and look into the videos. Yes, Franklin, how can I help you?
Yeah, so I was actually struggling to find the recordings for the class. Where do I find that at? Just to
Where
go
you are
over
facing,
my
what exactly challenges you are facing?
just to find the recording so I can just go over the class and just kind of redo my notes, because I'm not gonna lie, it was times I went to the bathroom and I missed little stuff, and I received a phone call as well. So I just want to kind of
What I can do, the best option is while going through the video, just pause the video and start writing the code. Instead of I will share the code, instead of you do the copy paste, I suggest you everyone, if you just go through the videos and pause it and you just follow the same instruction and write in your own way. You just write hands-on from your end to the Eclipse. That will be the best practice. Yeah.
yeah, no, I asking like where do we, because I know when I was working with Dimple through Skype, after the class was done, the recording will be right there so you can look at the recording. But I know that you guys don't notice. I don't know where to find it. Do Zoom.
Yeah, that's what I said, right? Instead of I will say the code here, you
Okay.
you go through the recording session, you pause the videos, and you start writing the same code on your machine. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Instead of I will share the code in the chat, you do copy paste. Instead of you do this, just you go through the video. Every session is recorded, right? So you go through everyday session, recording sessions, pause the video, start writing the coding, same what I'm explaining, and follow the same steps and execute. And just keep adding some new features and keep adding some new properties, keep adding some new services in the application's code. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so see you tomorrow. Bye.
We don't get the videos yet.
You didn't get the videos yet?
Yeah.
No, I already shared all the videos.
Yeah, she told me to give her my email, but she
No one
didn't
is going
send
to
it.
access videos?
I only
Yeah, that's what I
have
was
one
thinking.
video. And I think what Franklin was saying is that he doesn't know where the video is.
Yeah,
I don't know if Franklin, that is what you're saying.
Okay. Let me speak with today, and I will ask to share all the recording because all the recording videos I'm uploading in the portal. So they're supposed to give you the access. So I don't know what's the problem. So let me talk to her and let's figure out the solution.
All right.
I
Thank
will
you.
make sure that you should access all the videos, all the recording sessions so far we discuss. Okay, don't worry.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah.